a publisher, and one day my daughter Christina asked me to write a novel with her. Well, that day was long ago, and that little girl is now an adult. But our novels live on. The Truth Seekers Mystery Series highlights a homeschool family, the Murphy teens, in an action-adventure novel that is sure to entertain as well as teach creation truths. To get your copy, visit our website at truthseekersmysteryseries.com.
This is a production of the Ultimate Homeschool Radio Network. Welcome to the Vintage Homeschool Mom Show. Your host, Felice Gerwitz, is an author, a publisher, and your radio show host. She will encourage, educate, and inspire you with answers to your most pressing questions from homeschool, marriage, parenting, and much more. Felice loves to equip moms to live a Christian life because every moment counts. Be sure to visit her website at mediaangels.com. And here's your host, Felice Gerwitz.
Welcome, everyone. My name is Felice Gerwitz, and today I am going to talk to you about peace at home. Doesn't that sound wonderful? It makes me want to break out into song, but don't worry, I'm not going to sing to you. But it makes me think about how many homes are suffering because we lack peace at home. In this Just for Kids series, I am going to talk directly to the kids and ask them some pointed questions and work them through some ideas on how your home can be peaceful. So, if you want to grab the kids or listen to this episode yourself before you introduce it to your kids, I'm really happy that you're here. Please visit the Media Angels website to find the Truth Seekers Mystery Series, which is a novel for tweens, as well as other books such as A Few Minutes with God. All right, kids, this is for you. I want to ask you a question. What is your family like? If I asked you to describe your family in just one word, what would that be? Really think about this. If you want to, you can stop this recording and think about it, and then hit play. Well, what did you say? What word did you come up with to describe your family? Some of you might have said big, or maybe small. Did you say nice? Or how about loving? Maybe somebody said loud, or messy. Maybe crazy, or fun. Whatever word you used, and it probably is one of the ones that I didn't even use, but whatever word you used, that may be one way you think about your family. But it also may have nothing to do with who your family really is, or why it's important to be a member of your family. Each family is just like a team. Every team has a leader. It's someone like a coach who helps you to improve and get better. When we talk about coaches, we can think about one of the things that they have in mind. One thing is to win. Another is to encourage all the players to do their best. Another is to work together as a team. If you work together as a team, things go a lot better than just trying to go it alone. Just like a team, a family has a leader, and it is the adults in the family. It can be the mom and dad, or sadly sometimes just a mom or just a dad. But either way, a family is led by someone who is in charge. And this person, whether it's a mom or a dad or another caregiver, really cares about you and loves you and wants what's best for you. So let me ask you another question. Are you in charge of your family? Are you the boss? Okay, now, I wish I was there hearing what you had to say. But if you're a kid listening to this, the answer is, did you say no? You are right. You are part of a family and an important part of the family, but you're not the person in charge. You are not the boss. Not yet, anyway. The person in charge has done a lot to get to that point. One thing they've done is to have you. Either you were born into your family or you were adopted into a family, but either way, you are part of a family. What happens when you put a group of people together? Well, many things happen, but often when people get together and try to make decisions, especially family decisions, what tends to happen is sometimes people disagree. And when that happens, it can make everyone sad. There can be fighting and arguing, and then no one is happy. Have you ever had a situation happen in your family when you were getting ready to go somewhere, and instead everyone was so upset and yelling and screaming and whatever else was going on in your family that no one got to go because there was a lot of kids disobeying, and maybe just one kid disobeying? This is very sad for everyone involved. It makes your parents sad, it makes you sad, or maybe what happened is someone in your family disobeyed what your mom and dad said. And then your mom and dad said, well, the solution to this, or the punishment, is that no one's going to go to whatever you had planned, or maybe you were going to have a friend over and they said, sorry, your friend can't come over. How terrible is that for everyone? Well, these are life lessons that it is better that we learn now rather than later. It is very unfair, and the person who loses out is you. But it is also unfair to everyone in your family. Do you want to lose out at having fun? Of course not. But when people do not do what they're told, then the peace is disturbed. When is peace disturbed, or when is there not a peaceful home? Well, I have 5 things I'm listing. Number 1 is when people disagree. Number 2, it's when no one listens. Number 3 is when someone just wants to get their own way. Number 4 is when things get violent. And number 5 is when someone starts trouble just for fun. Let's look at these 5 points closely. Let's look at number 1. Sometimes people disagree. Well, that's not totally horrible. People do disagree, and they may not agree on the same thing. But there are ways to talk about what you disagree about in a kind and loving manner. It can be done in a way that is not harmful to each other. You can talk about what you disagree about without getting upset. The second point is no one will listen. Have you ever tried to say something and no one's listening to you? So then all you want to do is just yell and say, hey, will somebody listen to me? Well, sometimes that's how your mom and dad feel when they're trying to tell you something and you're too busy talking instead of listening. Sometimes in some families, no one will listen at all. So that is a problem, and that will really destroy the peace in your family. Number 3 is when somebody wants their own way. Have you ever seen a little kid just scream and scream and scream and scream until everybody just gets in so that the child will stop screaming? And you can say, well, he's just a little kid and doesn't know any better. But sometimes when you get your own way, and it isn't for a very good reason, it is not a good thing. And just like the screaming child, it can disturb the peace. Number 4, things get violent. Somebody might throw something, or there might be a lot of yelling and screaming, and this makes everyone sad. There is never any reason to hit or kick or scream, and there is always a good reason for talking things out calmly and nicely. And number 5, someone starts trouble for fun, just because they want to and they know they can irritate someone else. This is never a good idea, and once again, it will disturb the peace in your family. Have you ever seen a stream or a lake that's nice and calm? Well, if you take a pebble and throw it in, what happens? That's right, there's a bunch of ripples. And that's what happens when people don't do what is right. Disturbing the peace is like disturbing the surface of the pond. One thing leads to another and another and another, and soon no one is happy. Okay, so we've talked about some ways that peace can be messed up in your family, right? And nobody's happy. Well, how are some ways that we can have a peaceful family? Let's think about it. Well, we've already discussed that sometimes people disagree. Well, how about if you agree about things and agree with someone else? Have you ever had to pick out a movie for the family to watch and maybe someone says they don't want to watch that movie? How does that make you feel? It might make you feel sad. Well, next time someone else is picking out a movie for the family, even if it's not your favorite movie, how about you don't say anything and just smile and get along? Everyone can have a turn, and sometimes it is great to just go along with what the family wants, just for the sake of peace. The second thing is everyone can listen and let others speak uninterrupted. When I was with my grandchildren recently, we played a game where we start a story and each person adds to the story. It's a lot of fun, and each person can add something silly or something suspenseful. And when we get to the end, it is really a fun time that we all have. Well, recently in playing the story, it was very difficult because everyone kept interrupting, even if it wasn't their turn to share about the story. But soon everyone understood that if they just waited until their turn, it would be so much more fun. That's one way to let others speak uninterrupted. Listen to what the other person has to say, especially your mom and dad. The third is compromise. What does compromise mean? Sometimes you give a little and that other person gives a little. And then both of you agree. It's not perfect, it's not getting your way, and it's not exactly how you want it, but compromising is good. Number 4, no one hits or screams or throws things. There is nothing good that comes out of violence. Nothing. And if we learn now to control ourselves, when we get to be adults, we will learn that as well. We will already have practiced it as a kid. And number 5, everyone knows to be on their best behavior. This is very, very important. There's not a reason for causing trouble. There just isn't. It doesn't make anyone happy, and all it does is get you in trouble. Peace within families is very important, and I'm sure you can make your own list. You can make a list of the things that you see in your family that are disturbing the peace. And then you can make a list of solutions or things you can do so that everyone gets along. If everyone gets along and helps your parents when it comes to doing what they ask you to do, well, guess what? Your parents will have more time and be happier. And so, as a family, you can plan activities and help each other out. Believe me, it is more rewarding to give than it is to receive. And it sometimes may not seem like it is. Talking with kindness is important. What are some words that you can use? You can always say things like, I'm really upset that my toy broke. But you don't have to say, you're a jerk for breaking my toy. Do you see the difference? One is where you said something that is terrible about that person. They didn't mean to break your toy, and even if they did, maybe there's something that they can trade you instead and give you one of their toys, or help you to fix what was broken. We don't want to just say we're sorry when we don't mean it. A lot of times I hear kids say they're sorry, but they don't really mean it. And how do I know? Because there's a smile on their face and they think it's funny. When you're sorry, that means you won't do it again. You'll try really hard to not do it again. And in that way, you can have peace in your family. as I said earlier, talking with kindness is important. When we get upset, we sometimes say unkind things, and all we do is hurt someone else, just like we are hurting. This does nothing to make anything better. Before you speak, think. Has anyone ever said that to you? Has anyone ever said, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything? And if you can't think of anything nice to say, then really think hard about how else you can express that you're upset. It's okay to say, I'm angry or I'm upset. You can explain how you are feeling, but you don't need to be cruel to other people. How will you have peace in your family? Think about the things we talked about today. Peaceful families are happier, and they enjoy being around each other. God puts us into families that we have, and I pray that you're able to enjoy being part of your family until you grow up and someday have a family of your own. If you want more podcasts in the Just for Kids series, go to vintagehomeschoolmoms.com and look for Peace at Home, episode 461. And in the show notes, you'll see some links for some other Just for Kids episodes. Until next time, I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Thanks for tuning in to the Vintage Homeschool Mom Show. Visit Felice at MediaAngels.com and thevintagehomeschoolmoms.com. Vintage Homeschool Moms is a production of the Ultimate Homeschool Radio Network.